Castlevania. Well, okay, Fish. The thing of it is I wanted, I wanted to actually do it myself. I've never, I've never built a PC before, but oh, Fish, you like this? I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. I got a 32-ounce beer mug, but okay. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It is engraved with sorry, it's really hard to see, I guess. It's an NES controller. I know my green screen is messing it up. It's an NES controller, and then it's got my my name underneath it. I know it's really hard to see on the stream with the current cam settings, but I want to let you know anyways, the NES controller is really sweet. Hey Senpai, what's up, man? So I've never built a computer. I watched my brother-in-law build my last computer, and that was several years ago. But I felt fairly confident that I could do it. So I attempted it. I started building the computer. Today's Sunday. Christmas was Friday. I started building the computer at 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the afternoon on Christmas. So Friday. And I had finally gotten to where I could start doing software at around 11 o'clock at night. So 6, 7, 8 to 9 hours on just the hardware. Yeah. Of course, I mean Beth has lovingly referring to the computer as the Stormtrooper. Let me pull it up. Here. Let me turn off the green chroma key right here. Okay. I will show you the Stormtrooper. Okay. You look like shit. Whoa, wrong scene. So it's that is the NZXT Phantom 630 windowed edition. So the side of it isn't. I had it higher up on a table, of course, while I was working on it, but also during software installation, stuff like that. So then you can look over and see inside, and it's all shiny. Here's the problem I ran into in Fish. You'll like this. So this was my first time putting a PC together, and it was quite a learning experience. Everything was going well. I get the motherboard in okay. Got the i7 installed. Got the cooler for the CPU installed. No problem. Power supply. 2 SSDs. And 2 hard drives. Oh, and the GTX 970. So I go to turn it on, hit power, and I take a look, and the fans aren't on. And this case has, I forget the size of the fans, but one in the front, one on the top, and one in the back. And the one in the front, one on the top are, I mean, big fans. In fact, I've got room to put another one on top next to it if I want to. Well, I couldn't get the fans on. So I'm looking and I'm like, what the hell? And then I see it, I see, oh, I see. So this case has a fan control to where instead of just plugging each individual fan into certain spots on the motherboard, there's a fan control on the back of the motherboard, or on the back of the case, I'm sorry. And all the fans plug into there. And then with a Molex cable to power supply, you can power up all the fans at once. Fan control allows you to go from low, medium to high speed fans. Not a big deal, but that's not the way I tried to hook it up. I looked and I saw a Molex connection, but there was also, another connector that was on it. So I looked at the other connector and I went, well, I guess I'll try to connect this. Maybe this connects to the motherboard. So I look on the motherboard. I'm like, where would I plug the fan in? The case instruction booklet clearly doesn't state it. The motherboard instruction booklet clearly doesn't state it. Should have went on Tom's Hardware. I didn't. And I went, oh, there's a spot on the motherboard that says, Power Fan 1. I go, that must be it. So I plug it in. It fits. About this time, Beth comes in and she's looking at this gigantic Stormtrooper PC that I'm building, and I hit power. And instantly, a flame shoots out the top of the PC. I shit you not, a flame shot out of the top of my new gaming PC. I instantly ripped the power cord out. And Beth says, there's a fire. And I froze. I just sat there. At least, I don't want to exaggerate it. I'm pretty sure I sat there for about 60 seconds. I didn't move. I didn't say a word. I just stared at the case. So the 60 seconds went by, and I look, and the flame came out of on top of the case where you hit power, and where the fan control is. That's where the flame shot out of. Man, this was such a bright flame. This was like a butane torch kind of flame. All right. And I texted my brother-in-law and I said, there was a fire. And he absolutely did not believe me until I told him, no, Beth is here. She will tell you there was a fire. So, what had happened is after that, I went, I I go on the internet. I find out, okay, first off, what did I screw up? Did I roast the motherboard? Oh my god, did I just burn my new motherboard, or did I just roast all three of these new fans? So I'm like, I guess I can tell them that the fan control is broke, and maybe they'll send me a new case, and no harm, no foul. Maybe they won't look into it. But I was like, let me see if I can get this working. So, oh yeah, Molex 2 power supply to get the fan control working. I plug it in, all the fans come on. Everything is working. I went, okay. Clearly by the burnt smell of electronics, something bad happened, but everything's on. It can't be that bad. I leave the room, I tell Beth, hey, I got the fans on. When I come back into the room, the fans have stopped. Fans no longer work. So, what I figured out is that I completely roasted the fan control. A feature on this case, I completely roasted it. So I had to plug each individual fan in fan spots on the motherboard, like I would have normally had to have done. And I got them all plugged in. Well, no, I did some. I looked fish. Luckily, I had the top cover off. Otherwise, I'd have scorch marks. I looked, and I was like, okay, something happened. I mean, you don't that burnt electronic smell. You guys know that smell. That smell. Something bad happened. So I went up and I tried to do the fan control, and nothing. It won't control the fans. Whatever speed the fans are set at right now is all they're going to be, unless I use a software program like I'm blanking on the program. I used it before as a fan control program. I haven't tried that, but whatever. So essentially, everything else on the top works. The power and the reset, but the fan control is burnt. I mean, there's no salvaging that. So I can live without a fan control, especially since I can handle it through software. But I was able to plug in all the fans onto the motherboard and get everything working. But yeah, it was quite a scene seeing a fire shoot out the top of my brand new gaming PC. I don't fully understand why people want to build their own PCs. Like, you hear a lot of PC enthusiasts and they swear by it. They're like, no, don't get a pre-built one, you have to build it yourself. Which I don't really understand, because if you have the opportunity to build it yourself for the same cost to have it pre-built it. I mean, the reason that I built it and had a frickin' fire coming out the top of the PC was because I was adding parts in from my old computer, so I couldn't have this pre-built or anything. So I had to build it myself. Now, having been through this ordeal, I feel pretty confident going into a future build, but if I can avoid it, I won't mess with it. Everything up to the point where fire shot out of the tower everything was going really well. Really well, actually. Exceptionally well. So yes, my my new build came with a little bit of a hiccup.